Live. All right, we're in business. Okay, well, we meet again, don't we? Let's start. Got a pup dog here, one over there. You can't see it. Kenny there. Megan, I sent you that recipe. My gosh, Kenny's like, recipe for what? What are y'all doing? It's chili, man. Some of the best chili ever made. Everybody love my chili. I know how to cook. Okay. We got a couple extra people in here today. We might even be able to get over double digits, or I should say double digits. I can't even talk. Here we go.
Powered by the Zaniacs, this is the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Yes. What's up, folks? Yes, here we go. The weekend. So there's a new movie out that I'm interested in, and it is called Ford versus. Do you say verse or versus? Kenny, I always would do this. It's versus, right? Versus Ferrari. And it's Matt Damon, and he's like one of my favorites. And Christian Bale, he's excellent. And I'm not much into cars, but I'm into stories, and this is apparently a true story. So I'm looking at that. That's looking like it might happen. This weekend is not like any other for me. Extremely busy with hockey tonight, hockey tomorrow. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me just do this in order. Today, publish this. Big Dick Donnie Veltman comes in here at noon to record. He wants to talk about shows coming to the area Back Alley Comedy Club venues. And side note to that, I found out that I'm doing that charity. I promoted that charity event November 15th for the Jaeger Foundation, which is a bunch of local comedians. I said 9, but it's 7 local comedians fighting for an opportunity to open up for Steve O at Back Alley Comedy Club. And the winner gets $200. Now, I found out on accident that the one and only Ben Glaze will be one of the comics appearing at that event. So then I'm like, oh, this is weird. And then I was like, fuck it. I don't care. It's nothing. It's no big deal. But then I was like, wait a minute, hold on. And then part of the dark side of my force started to take over and said, you got to call Don and make a power play and get him off that. I said, what the fuck are you doing? This is a charity event. Leave the guy alone. It's fine. No big deal. So, all right, great. Raising money for a good cause. Excellent. Good luck to all. So that's going on. And then I got to head over to Wood Radio because I got to learn more button pushing duties. As you know, I'm a key button pusher, board op, as I continue my great tenure there. All right, good deal. I got to come back. Got a hockey game tonight. All right, great. Get back to Wood Radio tomorrow in the late morning. Push buttons all day. Go to the Griffins game Saturday night. And then afterwards, there is a jersey auction. Awesome. Great. And then after that is I was invited to a person I know threw a birthday party for themselves. Who could it be? Who do you think it is that I know that would throw a birthday party for themselves? It is the one and only Bill Simonson. Hey, I'm having a birthday party in my 27 years in radio party. Come see me. I'm like, well, all right, Bill, you know I'll be there. So after the auction, I got to I'm gonna go see Bill and kiss the ring. It'd be great. Always fun. That's 2 weekends in a row I would have seen Bill. I see him more now than when I actually work with him at the radio station. No, I'm not telling you where it's at. I know John wants to punch him. All right, what do we got here on comments? Looks like they want the white chili recipe. I can give you that. I can give you the meatball recipe too. Hey, John, how are you? Dealership. Okay, so you see here, this is what it is. It's like a conversation between these people. John, for some reason, says, screw you, Eric. That sounds about right. Somebody says calling women dudes. I don't know what that's about. John, is Eric even talking right now? I'm more interested in the chat. That sounds about right. Sam writes, I think the dogs like sleeping in there because of Zane's bacony musk. All right. I see you're a bunch of freaking comics. Great. Pain in the asses. All right, let's start with this one. Wings, beer, death in Maryland. As a Buffalo Wild Wings, the shit hit the fan. And no joke, like there's a dead guy here. Holy crap. Last night, I think what happened was somebody was like cleaning the place and they, I don't know what happened, but you know how they say don't ever mix household chemicals? Well, they mean that. So I don't know if it was like, here's some bleach. Here's some ammonia. Let's go scrub the floor. Yeah, really, really bad hazmat issue. And this is how it all unfolded, according to ABC News.
At a Buffalo Wild Wings in Massachusetts, an employee killed and 10 others sickened from a cleaning chemical. ABC's Gio Benitez has the very latest.
A cleaning agent turned deadly at this Buffalo Wild Wings in Burlington, Massachusetts.
Several people having breathing issues and eye irritation.
Emergency personnel and hazmat teams called to the popular restaurant in the middle of the dinner rush.
This is a confirmed chemical reaction between two cleaning chemicals.
It began when one of the workers who was preparing to clean the floor became sick from the fumes. Another worker frantically tried to squeegee the cleaning agent out of the restaurant before being taken to the hospital, where he later passed away.
The gentleman that passed away was an employee of Buffalo Wild Wings who attempted to squeegee the product out of the building.
Authorities evacuating the restaurant, but 10 others, 8 employees and 2 diners were hospitalized. Buffalo Wild Wings issued a statement saying,
listen to this statement. They use one word in particular twice through this like 20-word statement. And I read into it, basically reading into it, because that's how I think. They use the word franchise and franchisee because it's their fault. Not our fault. Don't sue us, sue them.
8 employees and 2 diners were hospitalized. Buffalo Wild Wings issued a statement saying, "We are shocked and saddened to learn of this horrific accident at our franchise-owned sports bar and are closely working with our franchisee and the authorities while they conduct an investigation."
Translation, franchisee will be sued. We won't.
Conduct an investigation.
And everyone else is expected to make a full recovery. But
now listen to this shit. This is ridiculous. This is how it works in the world. You got this horrible story, and ABC News somehow manages to, instead of just let this story be, they add another layer to it that is completely unnecessary. Listen to how they did this.
But this comes on the heels of a very troubling incident at another Buffalo Wild Wings near Chicago this week. Black customers there said that an employee asked them to move because a customer didn't want to sit near them. The company firing that employee and banning those customers for life. But now we have another investigation in Massachusetts.
Okay,
yeah, thanks for tying that all in nicely for us. Thanks for driving that home. That incident happened, which is everyone's already forgotten about. What a fucking bunch of assholes. So stupid. This is local, Southwest Michigan, community near Kalamazoo, Oshtemo Township. You got a guy there who is a first-class nerd or geek. I'm not sure what is the appropriate term. This guy, all he does is sits around. He probably has a job, but then he comes home, plays video games, and then getting out of the house, he does these battle reenactments with armor and axes and like Game of Thrones shit. And, well, while he's sitting there playing video games, some jerk busts into his home invasion. So the nerd is surrounded by, stuff from Game of Thrones. And he grabs a battle axe and hits the home intruder with the battle axe. This is incredible. I'm going to post this. It's in the comments of this podcast. It'll be on In the News of EricZaneShow.com. And I'll link right up to it in the comments. You got to see this guy. I mean, he is a stereotypical type of person you would expect doing this exact thing.
Used a weapon to fend off a convicted criminal who kicked the door into his apartment late last night.
But it wasn't a gun, knife, or even a bat that kept the intruder at bay. Instead, it was a replica battle axe.
Barton Dieters is in studio control with this story, all new tonight. Barton?
Brian and Marley, the 33-year-old suspect, is in jail now, facing a charge of first-degree home invasion, which could put him in prison for a maximum of 20 years. Whatever his reason was for kicking in the door of the Oshtemo apartment, he probably was not expecting to run into a guy who does this on the weekends.
Well, number one, it's not LARPing. A lot of people are like, oh, is it LARPing?
He's referring to live action role play, and it looks like LARPing. That's I thought it was. So yeah, I guess he clears that up.
LARPing.
At a Buffalo Wild Wings in Massachusetts.
What the fuck is going on here? Oh, is it LARPing? And it's like, no. This Band-Aid was actually from filming last night for our newest episode.
I don't know how that doesn't make it LARPing. He's got a Band-Aid on his finger. Goes, see, it's not LARPing. Ha! I got a Band-Aid because I was filming last night.
Episode.
When he's not working at Applebee's, 36-year-old Ben Ball competes in the events where people compete against each other in ritualized combat. He owns a lot of period weaponry reminiscent of the kind used by Vikings and barbarian warriors that he keeps around his apartment.
I've got a double-headed carbon steel battle axe that was homemade by a gentleman who has since passed. That's
Megan writes, dude jerks off a lot. Stevie, these are all the women saying these cracks. Stevie, he's a virgin. My God.
Who has since passed. That's what I call my baby.
Ball says that the suspect dated a former roommate who left to get away, and he showed up at the apartment around 11:30 p.m. Wednesday. The suspect knocked on the door repeatedly as Ball was in his apartment playing video games and watching Rick and Morty. Then the suspect.
Dieter's deadpan says he's playing video games and watching Rick and Morty.
Suspect kicks at the door.
It might have broken in on twice, but it may have been the third. But I was reaching already over here.
And
for my dick.
Here.
And this is what Ball pulled out. A sharpened battle axe.
Door open, grab the axe, step, hit.
Ball said he had reason to believe the suspect had a firearm. The axe hit the intruder at least once in the torso, and then the two started grappling in the apartment.
Now, when you look at the images of this apartment, I mean, there's shit everywhere because they were fighting, but there's also like all the gear is laying around. You can see the video game setup, all the TV dinners, wrappers. There's shit everywhere in this place. It is a true nerd house.
Grappling in the apartment, destroying the place.
There's a bloody mess everywhere.
Finally, the suspect gave up and made a run for it. A neighbor called 911 and police showed up. Canines followed the trail of blood to apprehend the suspect. Bell identifies the suspect as Axel Lavelle Rawls, who is currently held in the Kalamazoo County Jail on a charge of first-degree home invasion.
And the dude who busted in, he's got a big triangle tattoo on his face.
First-degree home invasion.
Is there anyone who has a tattoo on their face that is a successful, upstanding citizen? I mean, like a real tattoo. Like this guy's got this stupid a triangle on his eye. Has there ever been anybody who has a tattoo on their face who isn't like into showing off their body mods, who is like a banker or a doctor? I'll bet you that there are zero in the world or in the United States, North America, physicians who have a tattoo on their face. What do you think?
Court records show Rawls was discharged from the State Department of Corrections in July. Now, Kalamazoo County says the suspect spent the night in the hospital with substantial wounds before being transferred to the jail. Undersheriff Jim Van Dyken says avoiding confrontation with a robber is usually the best course, but people have a right to defend themselves, especially in their own home. In studio control, Barton Dieters, News 8.
All right, dude's got a battle axe. I reached out to dude. Like they said, he's probably working at Applebee's right now, if they're open at this time, or he's asleep. Want to remind you that it's coming up on November 20th, the Wood Radio Turkey Drop. Now, that damn thing goes on all day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Celebration North. I will be there from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The goal is supporters of this show, my crew, will be able to contribute 100 turkeys. That would be awesome. I would be so happy. They're teaming up with Mel Trotter Ministries. There are tons of vulnerable people in and around Grand Rapids that need a place to stay. They need something to eat, thus the turkey drop. So get a turkey and bring it to me 1 to 4 at Celebration North on November 20th. If you cannot get there and you still want to help, I got a snoring dog here. You probably can't hear it. Get the turkey, and I will come get it myself from you and bring it on the day. And I mean that. I will, if you live across town somewhere in West Michigan, I'll go get the damn turkey. Buy the turkey, and I'll get it. All right? Or email me, and I'll buy it for you, and we'll square up. You know, we can do that, too. If you don't want to see my stupid face, and who would? Reach out to me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And I will buy the turkey on your behalf. You're buying it. I'm just going to get it, you know? We can do that in the great age of the world being as close as we are with our devices and whatnot. So that's fun. All right. Kenny says, work phone call this whole time. I missed everything. Blah. Let's see. The No Name channel on Twitter is a new one. I haven't seen that person. Writes regarding guy who swung the battle axe. Would it have been funny if he used a 3-foot dildo to defend himself? No doubt, but he probably would have had to pull it out of himself. I've got the APB on the dude trying to get him on the podcast. He probably won't be if he heard that stupid joke. All right. Tell me if this next story, it doesn't really add up in brain, but try to follow along and see what they're getting at here. It was a recent story that just came out, and ABC News reported on it, that if every employee walked or jogged for an extra 15 minutes each day, the world could see an economic boost of $100 billion with a B dollars. And I'm like, okay. Now, I'm not sure if they mean every person who works in the world, every person who works in the United States, North America. I'm not sure. According to a new report on the economic benefits of a more physically active population. Those economic gains would come from 3 mechanisms. Researchers explain in the report, which was published this week by RAND Europe and the health insurance group Vitality. All right. Regular physical activity is associated with a host of health benefits, including a decreased risk of chronic conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, as well as mental health gains, such as decreased risk of anxiety and depression, according to the Mayo Clinic. Overall, those health gains translate into reduced mortality, and the longer people live, the longer they stay in the workforce, which would grow the overall labor force in addition to economic output. So there's a lot of positive slippery slope going on here, I guess. You follow? Better employee health would translate into reduced absenteeism and presenteeism. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it says that is when employees are at work, but attempting tasks at less than full strength, like Stu McAllister, basically, both of which drive down productivity. Of the global economic gains detailed in the report, 30% could be attributed to reduced mortality and reduced sickness and absences, while 70% were linked to reduced presenteeism. Despite the documented positive effects of exercise, insufficient physical activity has become more common over the past decade. So what they're saying is 15 minutes a day, it can result in $100 billion. Now, it doesn't really get into whether that's a year or over a lifetime. I mean, I would need to see that. Are you up for 15 minutes of walking around to be able to get these benefits? You know, I need something tangible. I need something like, all right, in the workplace, 15 minutes walking, and then you get like a bonus for how many steps. Turn in your steps, things like that. You can always reach out, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I'm not going to lie to you. I am really circling the drain here and being extremely shitty. My mouth hurts like fuck. Don is going to be here in a little bit, so I got to get ready for him. I'm going to end this shortly, like right now, and I will talk to you down the road. You've been a great audience as always. I'm not nearly as good of a host. Thank you so much for checking me out on the Eric Zane Show Patreon bonus podcast. If you like it, please throw me $5 a month on Patreon. That would be so sweet. Thank you. For Bruce, for O'Neill, for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.